Hello everyone, today you're in for a treat. We're going to start eviscerating Eric Dubay's 200 proofs that the Earth is not a spinning ball.
200 Proofs Earth is Not a Spinning Ball by Eric Dubay.
Today we're going to be looking at proofs. If only there was a way to italicize speech. Anyway, proofs 1 through 5. Alright, let's get started.
1. The horizon always appears perfectly flat 360 degrees around the observer regardless of altitude. All amateur balloon, rocket, plane, and drone footage show a completely flat horizon over 20 plus miles high.
The altitude at which the curvature of the Earth becomes visually apparent begins at about 35,000 feet. This assumes a 60-degree field of view. So, where does Eric come up with his 20 plus miles high foolishness? Made it up, of course.
Only NASA and other government space agencies show curvature in their fake CGI photos and videos.
And there it is. Fake CGI. They're scamming us.
2. The horizon always rises to the eye level of the observer as altitude is gained, so you never have to look down to see it. If Earth were in fact a globe, no matter how large, as you ascended, the horizon would stay fixed and the observer would have to tilt looking down further and further to see it.
So the horizon rises to eye level. Just kind of pops up there. This wouldn't be true even if the Earth were flat, which it isn't. The only time the horizon is ever at eye level is if you're in the ocean, submerged up to your eyes, so that your eyes are at the level of the horizon. Any elevation above that, there will be some downward tilt of your eyes, or your head, or your neck. Unfortunately, humans are not designed to discern changes of that magnitude. The progression he mentioned in the end of that little monologue of silliness is basically accurate. As altitude increases, you do have to increase the downward tilt to keep your eyes focused squarely on the horizon.
3. The natural physics of water is to find and maintain its level. If Earth were a giant sphere tilted, wobbling, and hurtling through infinite space, then truly flat, consistently level surfaces would not exist here. But since Earth is in fact an extended flat plane, this fundamental physical property of fluids finding and remaining level is consistent with experience and common sense.
What we have here is a fundamental misunderstanding of the difference between level and flat. Level means all points on the surface of the fluid, in this case water, are equidistant from the center of gravity of the planet. We only run into trouble when we try and wedge in the word flat.
4. Rivers run down to sea level, finding the easiest course, north, south, east, west, and all other intermediary directions over the Earth at the same time.
Yeah, isn't gravity cool? Now what's your point?
If Earth were truly a spinning ball, then many of these rivers would be impossibly flowing uphill. For example, the Mississippi, in its 3,000 miles, would have to ascend 11 miles before reaching the Gulf of Mexico.
Should have known. This is another example of their fundamental misunderstanding of the difference between flat and level. What Eric's trying to say here is that the curvature of the Earth represents a rise from level, which it does not. As long as the distance to the center of gravity of the Earth continually decreases, the potential energy contained in the water will be converted into kinetic energy and it will move forward.
5. One portion of the Nile River flows for 1,000 miles with a fall of only 1 foot. Parts of the West African Congo, according to the supposed inclination and movement of the ball Earth, would be sometimes running uphill and sometimes down. This would also be the case for the Parana, Paraguay, and other long rivers.
Wait a minute, is this a repeat of the previous proof? Certainly sounds like it. He's ignoring the fact that a reduction in distance from an object to the center of gravity of the Earth represents downhill. You know, I was really expecting a little more of a challenge from the first 5 proofs. You know, usually you hit them with your best stuff first. Apparently not. Anyway, That wraps up my rebuttals to the first 5 proofs that the Earth is not a spinning ball. If you have any comments, criticisms, suggestions, please put them in the comments section below. And if you like what we're doing here at Science Denier Hall of Shame, please subscribe. See you next time.